Well, hey Pisces, how about a reading from your metal dog here? This is about what you are healing. We've been going through some healing energy out there, and I've been giving readings on that this month. So I'm going to ask some questions, but first we'll start as usual with just an overall energy. An overall answer to the question of what is Pisces healing? Pisces is healing the King of Swords. That is an intellectual energy. Your mind. We have the King of Swords has matured in his use of the intellect and his use of the truth. This means an alignment with the heart. What's going on underneath that, Pisces? Looks like some earthy energy. Lots of stuff. Okay. A few things. All right, so we get a 6 of Pentacles here, portrayed as being grounded. It's a balancing energy. She's got a lot of balls in the air. 6 of Pentacles traditionally is about generosity, charitable giving, and receiving. I tend to think of it as overly hierarchical compared to another card that's in here, actually. There is a working with others to bring a vision into the real world, a 3 of Pentacles. There is the 2 of Cups. This is a much more reciprocal energy. You can see they're drinking out of one another's cups. Could be a soulmate connection. It can be about justice. It's mirroring energy. And then, Pisces, some of your energy here. The Queen of Cups, emotionally mature, open with your feelings. We do have a sense here of what has happened out astrologically, which is Saturn, the planet of order, the taskmaster planet, has moved into Pisces. So I see that you are thinking about it's a balancing of the practical, and I see this king here is actually coming in very practical, very physical in his emotional and intellectual connection. So we'll look at that. Let's ask some questions. Brady Tarot wanted to talk to you, so we will use this. It's a bit of a dark deck, but lots of animals. Really beautiful, powerful deck. So let's see what it wants to tell you today, Pisces. So the first question we're asking of the Brady Tarot is, the Brady Tarot, I don't know why I said it like that. The first question is, what is the nature of this healing? We can see it's under the King of Swords. And we get, a 9 of Swords, Anguish, or 9 of Arrows in this deck. The anguish of the eagle, who has these shells that have it's sort of an ecological disaster. It's in the same suit here as the swords, so this is arrows in this deck is swords. So we have your mind you're attempting to find peace in your mind. I relate to that. So there is some Pluto has moved into Pisces. Pluto has moved into Aquarius, and so the air feels disturbed. My mind is doing a lot of anguish, a lot of insomnia. So you might be feeling that as well, Pisces. And it looks like you are healing your mind right now. And the transformative death card power of the planet Pluto, which rules Scorpio, it's all this transformation. And it doesn't look comfortable, this particular kind of healing. But it is very, very powerful and beautiful. And when you achieve this way of living with the truth, of like living with your mind, it can be very, very beautiful. Okay, what else do we want to know? What's some practical advice in this healing process? We get a beautiful 6 of Cups, undefended love, happiness. We can see our little otters, or ferrets. Oh no, they're otters. This is an underwater scene. Okay. And got all the Six of Cups, and it's soulmate connections, it's inner child work. So there's a little bit of that going around. So if you're in anguish and you're up in your head to go down into the depths, I mean, your card, Pisces, is the moon, and that is very much about going down into the waters, into the shadows and darkness. You know, she's been there, and that's you in this reading, is this Queen of Cups, going through a process here. I think you need this process in order to feel at ease in your element, water. So let's keep looking at that. So that's a very good practical advice. It's not obvious or easy, but it is about reflecting on your life journey, all the way back to your childhood, where you came from, how it shaped you emotionally, in order to heal that, in order to move out of your mind. Like, what might have happened is when you were a kid, your life was hard, and so you trained yourself to certain kinds of discipline. And these disciplines have kept you safe. And then there's a point at which they no longer work, and they just torture you. And so it feels like this. I think because we can see the bald eagle with the shells that are cracked open, there is something about insecurity and not being able to protect your young, and that could be your inner young people, but it could also be that kind of generational responsibility that many of us now silver-haired people feel about larger issues going on. And Pisces, I feel like the people that get into my Pisces collective, that you have larger issues that you engage with, and that's what this is, like working with others to make a vision real in the world. That's a part of what you do, Pisces. Okay, some really impractical advice, like what is your dream and how do you flow with that dream? Very dreamy energy. The Breach, a Seven of Cups. So the Seven of Cups is the card that comes after the Six of Cups. It's a very different card. It's about choices, it's about illusions, it's about projections. And the image here is of a beaver dam. You can see the beavers have built the dam, and then something has opened up. There's a breach in the dam. And so if you had attempted to hold everything in and contain it, now that's busting open. There is some of that feeling of the planet of structure being in your sign, Pisces, and the dam as a structure getting cracked open. And so then, to me, this is a very positive Piscean effect, that we need to have this clearing and this opening and this flowing of emotions. I'm feeling it too here with the other thing that's happening in the waters is Mars, who's been forever in Gemini, air, is now in a water sign, Cancer. So there's just like a lot of emotional and head stuff happening. It doesn't feel very clear. It feels messy. Everything is very uncomfortable for me after having been in, like, I felt like I had a handle on what was happening. And so I wonder if that's actually more comfortable for you, Pisces. I just think of that moon card that is your card, where your element is the dark depths of the emotional realms. Okay, so what is hidden from you that the tarot wants you to know? Oh my goodness, the Lovers. So there is, Pisces, potentially a person, your partner, it can be a twin flame, it can be a very difficult, challenging connection. But it is the one who gets you on all levels. And this card emphasizes, you can see there are three beings here. There is one swooping down here and disrupting this dance of the whooping cranes. And the Lovers is also a choice. what is actually coming up for me when I see that this bird is the option of ascension to go up together. That's a choice to ascend in the most beautiful spiritual way. The Lovers is always about sublimation, about turning your desire, which would be the Devil card is very much mirrors the Lovers. One is about your lower lustful addictive tendencies. The Lovers is about sublimating all of that for the higher greater good, and that can happen with a partner that you bring out the absolute spiritual best in each other, in the Lovers. So that may be something here for you that you're not aware of or that is coming in. Why do I have that feeling? Oh, I think I was looking at this image. See this wing here around this crane? I thought it was this bird, but it's just the drawing. So we have the cranes dancing and this invitation to ascend. It's a higher calling. And that's what very often comes through for me with you, Pisces, is that you have a higher calling. Okay, how you will embody this in the future. Wow, beautiful. With an Ace of Cups, joy. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. The card of joy. Ace of Cups it's self-love, it's divine love, it's a heart-forth approach. You know, we see she has that Ace of Cups in her hand. The Lovers, as we have seen here with the two cranes, is drawing me to relook again. We got the Two of Cups here. Very similar soulmate energy. There is a lot of soulmate energy here. It doesn't have to be the way that we see this, but we can read that your soulmate, your twin flame, the one is here for you. You're not aware of who that is, according to the cards, or in some way you're not aware of how that relationship that you are in or that is coming in is going to give you this choice of ascension to your higher self. And whatever you do, we do see you going forth with your overflowing waters. And there's a lot of water here, right? Because we have the 6 and 7 of Cups and the Queen of Cups, and then joy. Even the Lovers, like I'm seeing that they're in a wetlands here. These cranes dancing. So lots of waters, lots of Piscean emotional wisdom to be had here. Okay, underlying is we have these cards are a little hard to pick up. We've got a few things. It looks like you're in a little bit of pain, Pisces. There is a 5 of Cups. This is very painful. 5 of Cups. It's called loss here. And let me see if I can. So we have the little raccoon. There's a bunch of raccoons here. Oh, okay. So it's a focus on. There's raccoons in here. 1, 2, 3 raccoons. This one is focusing on the waters that have spilled. Like we can see these cups, these emotions are spilling out. It's about grief. And then you can always see that if you don't focus over much on what you've lost, that there's these 2 cups here. There's 2 cups here. There's friends here for you to connect with. But because you're focused on loss. I think it's interesting. It's unusual actually to have 3. It's like a friendship. Like it's almost like reconciliation is possible here with 2 others, Pisces. But this little raccoon is grieving, and that's normal. You ought to grieve. If you're in grief and loss, then you remember and you honor and you weep over what you've lost. But then you get to have the perspective shift, the passageway of a 5, and this is a 5 of Cups that will turn you towards a new emotional opportunity. Then we have a Daughter of Roots, a very grounded, real, like structure. Structured, like I see the four, that the tree makes a four, even though it's a Daughter of Roots. It makes me think of stability of the Four of Wands or Four of Roots. So yeah, the little Daughter of Roots is a Page of Pentacles, and she's very much, or he or they are very much about a new beginning, a real offer, a kind of groundedness here. That's some of the pentacle energy that we saw underlying. There is some, an Ace of Truth here, an Ace of Swords. So there's the mind, and there's a truth that needs to be known. And we'll see if we can find out more about that. And then there is more pain. There is a Three of Swords or arrows in this deck. There's lots of mourning here. Yeah, there's a friend who has been lost. And in the morning, in the Three of Swords, we have a mind-heart conflict. The mind obsesses and hurts the heart. And so we have both loss, the Five of Cups, and the Three of Swords mourning here that are bookending the underlying energy of this reading. So that's why anguish is what you are, is the element you are healing. You're definitely working on coming to terms with something in your mind. And then as long as you keep focusing on what you're focusing on, then you're going to you're going to hurt. You're going to keep hurting. And the interesting thing is that there is a way out of this. And it does come with you getting grounded, like this little Daughter of Pentacles, as a way of holding the truth. Because the King of Swords, he holds the truth not without suffering. To me, like, his wisdom comes from having seen accurately what is happening. And if you are the Pisces that I usually get here, who's busy doing something for the greater good, that's something about, these cards cause us to think about the environment, but there could be some other kind of injustice, because with the Two of Cups here, we know justice is here. There's this drawing you upwards in the Lovers. Yeah, so I'm not sure. We will clarify why this Six of Cups here. It could be that you're going to do this with a soulmate connection. There's lots of other cards that suggest it. It also suggests that a part of this is to, and I get this message a lot, which is to know what you knew when you were young, that there is wisdom in what we knew when we were young before anybody ever broke our hearts, is that we knew how to carry forward an undefended love. This seems crucial here because we see you working with others and not alone. And then there is something in the breach, in like the flow of like what has been ending, and that this is a part of this process of healing. I guess I don't see that as a problem for Pisces, but we do see grief as a part of knowing what happened in the past or what you lost, and also accepting that something is over, that has ended. And the dam it begins with a breach, and then it's almost giving me like a tower feeling. Okay, well, let's clarify, because the tarot will tell us more than I need to make up or come up with or channel. I like to see what the tarot says here. So the nature of this healing is in your mind. We're healing your mind. We're healing anguish. I think it's anguish. It's something that you're powerless over, and that you need to accept, and that is caught, and you're focusing on grief, and that's okay. But it's hurting your mind. Your mind is hurting you. You're kind of doing this. So anguish is the Nine of Swords. It's insomnia, anxiety as well. Okay, so here's the Queen of Wands. She's coming to me in my readings because She is the queen of the law of attraction. She is able to make the world that she focuses on. So if you focus on what's beautiful and good and hopeful, that is what you will manifest. Equally, if you focus on the negative, on the loss, on the fear, on this anguish, there will be more. And that's the discipline needed to attend to the law of attraction has been coming in to readings quite a bit lately. What else? There you are, writing forth with the truth. It can be angry, but there's that truth. It's coming in fast, right towards the Queen of Wands. It's not this is the truth. This is what's getting in your head. It's making it really hard for you to focus on hope or to hope at all. That's why you're in loss, mourning, anguish. And King of Pentacles, it's so much affecting your security and your sense of the well-being of the planet, the element of earth here. That's so, because I tend to get Pisces who have like political justice work that they do, that could be that. It could also mean on a very personal level that your basic home life, your job, there's insecurity feeling coming in to that, is causing you're having to release something. It's hard. There's anguish. So now you are a mutable sign, Pisces, which means you're good at change and you help the rest of us with change. But let's see what else. So the practical advice is a Six of Cups, happiness. And that, like, because we got the Queen of Wands and she says, focus on the possibilities, feel hope. Know what you knew when you were a kid. That undefended love. This is what your practical advice is. So there's a King of Cups, wise heart, a very wise heart. Your watery element. There's the Ten of Pentacles. This is earth, security, abundance. Practical world, 3D. And then a Nine of Cups. Wish fulfillment, contentment. It's very individual. So again, we get the King and the Nine of Cups. These guys sitting here with their emotions. This one has like the one cup. This one has 9. A lot. This one's kind of like a rich, emotionally rich guy. This one is quiet. So there's a quietness to the King of Cups. He's quiet because he cares about the kingdom, and so he kind of keeps his feelings to himself. That's what I see. I actually see this part of this reading. Your practical advice is sit there with your love, knowing in and of yourself that you believe in the abundance of the planet. You believe in the abundance that you have everything, and that there's like a place in your heart. And I think of the unstruck place that is in our hearts, the place that has never been hurt, that has never been broken, and that's a part of this Six of Cups energy. Sit in that, access that, know that you have everything you need emotionally, and that you can trust in the earth's abundance, and that you don't need to talk about all your fears and focus on all your fears, because you can really just sit in what is really a leap of faith, that your wishes will be fulfilled, your life will be secure, abundance is here for you. And I think it's interesting that the King of Cups tells you you don't need to talk about your fears, you don't need to talk about some of the negative feelings, because we know you're feeling loss, anguish, mourning. We know there's that, and I see you kind of holding that to yourself. And instead, if you talk at all, talking from the happiness, from the positive image. And what comes in my head immediately is like, oh, toxic positivity. There is something here that's about trusting and speaking to and from your faith that everything's going to be okay with the planet somehow. So the other part of this, the dreamy part, that the impractical, is this breach. So let's find out more about that. The dam is breaking. There's the sun. Absolute happiness, authenticity, joy, delight, being able to be naked, young, like this young baby, right? So since we got that inner child message, like, absolutely remember what you knew when you were a kid. We've been seeing the sun come up in readings for a little while, or my readings have been seeing us revise what it means to have joy, wish fulfillment. That's been revising. There's more beginner, faithful energy, the Fool. Going forward, unburdened, taking the leap of faith, you and your little dog, traveling light. You've basically unloaded a lot of stuff in order to go on this journey. And the Fool and the baby on the white horse here in the Sun card, they have that lighthearted authenticity and faith in common. Yes, I just see you very hopeful, youthful. You might as well feel light and go forth lightly and with faith. Okay. What's hidden from you that the tarot wants you to know? The Lovers. That's beautiful, Pisces. Okay, the Lovers. Some self-harm. Thoughts, your brain. This is what you're trying to heal. There's you going forward with your heart. This is your advice. Self-sovereignty, 9 of Pentacles. Yes, so this reading is bringing together the problem of your thinking, the beauty of your cups, your watery Piscean heart, and the security and abundance that is coming up here with the Queen of Wands, the King of Pentacles, the 10 of Pentacles, and now the 9 of Pentacles. The 9 of Pentacles is specifically about self-sovereignty. It's about you're able to create your own abundance all by yourself. And it's interesting that it's coming up here under the Lovers. There is something about the Knight of Cups riding towards the 9 of Pentacles, that she's determined to be by herself. And so if you, Pisces, are in a relationship where one person is maybe hurting themselves riding towards another person who just wants to be alone, like this seems like a dynamic here. It doesn't mean that you aren't meant to be together. It's just this lesson where you need to align your mind and your heart to honor the sovereignty of this other person. This is the lesson here, and it's not that you are the Lovers. This person, that whoever this is, whether you know who they are or not, this person, you can ascend with this person. But in order to ascend, and that is in this Lover's image, the ascension of the Judgment card, you must do this right. You must quit hurting yourself, and you must honor the sovereignty of this other person, this 9 of Pentacles, because that is here with this balancing, this very grounded person. I think this is the 9 of Pentacles energy, and there's this really clear desire to work with this Pentacles energy in a eye to eye. Like, I think like justice is like in the 2 of Cups is like we mirror one another. Nobody's hierarchical over the other. We're both sovereign. So each of you has sovereignty, and you honor that. But the the feeling that I'm having is that the Knight of Cups is harming themselves through offering a heart. It's almost like a neediness and a clingingness instead of coming from self-sovereignty with another being here. So, and that's the choice under the Lovers, is self-harming, self-defeating offering of your heart, or to be grounded in your worth, in all of your relations, so that you are able to bring your heart forward in a much healthier, much more secure way. It's just really uncomfortable to be with a person who's needy and insecure. And that's why we have like this anguish, and then I feel like there's all these cycles of loss and anguish that are coming up in your reading. But there is also this sort of groundedness. Like if you can see this little bear, they're two different kinds of beings in relationship. They're very grounded. They're very present with one another. You can see another pairing here of beings who are quite different in this Ace of Swords, Truth. So there is a need to relate across very different styles and energies, and it's like it's making you feel insecure, or that your person is insecure. So it gets you into this Three of Swords obsession. My brain is telling me a story, and then I hurt my heart with it. It might not even be happening. It could be like you're jealous, and so then you go and you use your swords. Like the Five of Swords here is such an interesting card. This person has won the war of words, but everybody's leaving. You kind of end up feeling like, well, I won, but I'm all alone. They left, and I feel crappy, right? So, okay, so how you will embody this healing in the future is all heart, all love. Your mind and your heart seem to be aligned here. Let's see what else we have. All right, Pisces. There's your Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups. Absolute happiness, joy, emotional fulfillment with all these other people. It can be community. There's that Seven of Cups. There's your breach. This is the same card. So this is the dam breaking here. So that I think it's important that we see that again. One more card. She knows her worth. This is self-sovereignty in the grown-up version. She's actually good at relationships. She tends to be a partner of somebody here. It's so clearly, so we have this Ten of Cups, and then the Seven of Cups makes us think about this dam that's going to break. So it's coming in like a tower. So you have a concept of love, of justice, that is flawed. It's going to be breached. The structure is going to break open, and in the process, it's going to liberate you. It's going to liberate you emotionally. And then we just see you either holding Earth and supporting Earth in the way of the Queen of Pentacles, very 3D. She knows her worth. Or if this is a love story for you, Pisces, we see you the partner instead of the loner, okay? Where your person is in partnership with you here, but it's needed you to revise your Ten of Cups, your Sun here, so that you can just lighten up and quit. It's almost like there's a feeling of jealousy and obsession in this reading for another person who's simply asking to be sovereign to herself or himself or themselves. So that's the mindset that's causing you anguish, and you can quit that by grounding yourself and trusting your heart. And know the truth. The truth here is that you're very different. You and the planet are very different, and it's hard. But don't make the negative fear shit bigger than it needs to be. Trust abundance, right? You're this King of Cups, and you're looking at the Ten of Pentacles. That's abundance. You knew this when you were born. You knew there was plenty. We're going through something right now where there's a lot of insecurity out there. There's doubt. Change is happening. It's a breach. We're in the breach. The only way to navigate this, well, we can navigate it in many ways. The cards are telling you to navigate it like the Fool, like the Sun, like the Page of Cups. Let it burst forth. Let the feelings flow. Let the dams come down. You're going to be fine. Water is your element. This is an emotional outpouring. And it's beautiful with the Knight of Cups and joy, and the Ace of Cups here, and the Queen of Cups. Like, the King of Cups is here as well. All of the Cups people are here. And that's you, Pisces. On the bottom, beautiful. Yes. Okay. All right. So we see victory. We see you riding forth in victory. We see you envisioning. There's some wands energy, some willpower. We see you working. Very practical energy. And we definitely see that when you focus on losses instead of turn around and focus at possibilities, that what will happen, and this is what you want to watch out for, is that you'll clamp down and grab control, and your worldview will get small and you'll feel impoverished. And then you will be, right? So this is about using your heart to put your mind in its place and focus on abundance and be a messenger, a carrier of love. And there's happiness and joy here, right next to loss, mourning, and anguish. Lovers, Two of Cups, they say you have a choice. There's a lot that's being said by these cards on multiple levels, but you do have a choice, Pisces. And the easier, happier path is to take a leap of faith, to be in this. There's going to be a breach, and be like this as it happens. Welcome it with open arms. Okay, Pisces, I love reading your cards. You're fantastic human beings. I always want to know what you're doing when I read this Piscean collective that comes to this channel, so please tell me. Sometimes I get that you like to be a little private about this kind of work, but I see none of that here. I actually see the advice is tell me. Bring it out. Speak from it. Get out of your anguish, okay? I wish you luck. Okay, have a beautiful day.